Oh, yeah. Okay. Tashitele, hello to everybody. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we start with settling ourselves, both our body and mind, in the present moment. Those of who struggle to do that, then simply by focusing on the natural rhythm of breathing in and out, so that way we can able to bring back our busy mind of the past and the future in the present moment. In short, try to establish sense of peaceful, open sense of clarity. This, serviceable state of mind is like preparing a smooth field, before we plant the crop, before we do the seeding. So here, before we acquire the learning of the Dharma, actualizing blessings, and actualizing the benefit, the ultimate benefit, including enlightenment. So in order that to happen successfully, first of all, we need a serviceable basis of our continuum. And that is the reason why at the beginning we try to have a sense of, settled state of mind. So now take a few moments to reflect on the precious human rebirth that we have. Those of you familiar with the Lamrim teaching, then you can relate to that. Otherwise, just simply, I think most of us here, last 2 days, we got the opportunity to receive Cheristic initiation from the living Buddha, the Cheristic himself, His Holiness Dalai Lama. We got opportunity to retake refuge. And some of you may had opportunity first time to take the individual liberation vows on the 5 lay vows, and those of us who have taken the initiation, then we have took Bodhisattva vows, the 18 root vows. We aspire to commit ourselves in the inspirational, to follow the Bodhisattva's state, Bodhisattva's way of life through actualizing the inspirational Bodhisattva attitude, and as well as the commitment, altruistic attitude, to try our best to engage into the practice of 6 paramita. And in our lifetime, to have that opportunity, in particularly receiving that channeling or the blessing directly from enlightened Buddha, without any doubt, how much purification of our karma, the karmic imprints, the delusions, obscurations have purified. Without any doubt, how much wisdom have developed within our mental continuum, how much the impact of developing of altruism, the bodhicitta, without any doubt. And those are vast, extensive blessing that our mental continuum have enjoyed. And we had that vast merit, to have those opportunities. And that itself is the very clear sign of what precious human rebirth is. How fortunate. The situation that happened to us is exactly like the 5 dedicated Brahmin disciples who first got the opportunity to receive the first returning of the Dharma on Four Noble Truth directly from living Buddha, Gautama Buddha himself. Our situation to have this opportunity with His Holiness the Dalai Lama is exactly like that. On the basis of this blessing, if we put consistent effort, consistent practice to the rest of our life, we have full opportunity to actualize the enlightenment state of compassionate Buddha. We have opportunity to actualize all the qualities of the gurus and the Buddha. In the worldly aspect, in this very time, we have a lot of difficulties, like such as the limitation from pandemic crisis. But even if we may not have those obstacles, the purpose of this very life is so limited, beneficial just within this life. And even those benefits are very much sensual pleasure. Very, very limited. It is in fact absolutely essenceless. Yes, outwardly seems like we are in a crisis, we are in a difficult time. But if we think deeply, we are in fact in the most fortunate time. So recognize that, and we should commit to treasure, this preciousness in coming days, and uh, consistently and diligently, we should practice. So now take a moment to refresh our refuge in Buddha Dhamma Sangha. And also take a moment to feel the presence of all the lineage masters of the profound lineage of teaching and extensive lineage of teaching, all the way up to Buddha Maitreya and Buddha Manjushri. Also, feel the presence of the lineage masters of the practice and the blessing, all the Kadamba masters, up to Geshe Domtempa, Lama Atisha, all the way up to Guru Shakyamuni Buddha. Feel the presence of the immediate root gurus of yours, root gurus of ours, like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, like Gyatso Lama Sopa Rinpoche, and all the other individual gurus from whom that you have nurtured in Dharma. The blessing of oral transmission, blessing in the commentary on the teaching, initiations, vows, all those lineage gurus, you feel present here. And feel the blessing in your heart. With that blessing, then whatever, we go through the teaching, every teaching become a Dharma in our heart. And that Dharma becomes the path towards full enlightenment. And that path can able to develop steadily without encountering any inner, outer, secret obstacles until we actualize the two bodies of the Buddha, the Rupakaya and the Dharmakaya bodies of the Buddha, and able to bring the ultimate purpose of this gathering is for us to serve the numberless sentient beings, from temporary happiness up to the ultimate happiness and enlightenment. Keeping that in mind, then reinforce our right motivation. Here, the motivation should be bodhicitta motivation. So those of you who are familiar with four immeasurable thought, then based on that, try to shape the motivation in altruism. Okay, thank you. Yeah. So we will go through the text, the Bodhisattva's Jewel Garland by Lama Atisha. So the last session, we have covered very few, very important points. One point, just to recap, for us to be free from the doubt of dedication of our life, from worldly life and the spiritual life, and to dedicate our life towards the pursuit of spirituality, pursuit of Dharma. Then we also discuss about the importance in our day-to-day life to overcome the sensual distractions and also laziness. And also we discuss about the importance of constant need of joyous perseverance in order to be successful in our spiritual practice. And another important point is our mind always need to equip with mindfulness and introspection to watch our three doors, to make sure only perform virtue and Dharma. Then we also talks about the main opponent or main negation to our practice is outwardly concerned. Making sure whatever spiritual practice we do needed to be free from the outwardly concern. Otherwise, even our spiritual practice won't become a genuine Dharma practice. Then after that, they emphasize the importance of taking the precept on the 10 virtues, by abandoning the 10 non-virtues, which are important to the actualization of Buddhahood, liberation. Not only that, even to actualize precious human rebirth or human rebirth, without the cultivation of 10 virtues, even human rebirth is not possible. The 10 non-virtues, if we continue to indulge in the 10 non-virtues, then the consequences is for us to actualize, lower realms such as animal realms, hungry ghosts, and hell realms. The fruitful causes for 3 lower realms are the 10 non-virtues. So emphasize the importance of for us to minimum practice the precept on 10 virtues. Then we also touch on the point of the 2 ruthless negative emotion, the anger and ego-centered attitude. Anger and ego-centered attitude. The importance of making sure in our day-to-day life never to let our continuum to be under the influence of anger and ego-centered attitude. Then after that, we did discuss about the importance of being free from the wrong livelihood. As a human being, as an ordinary human being, we have to survive. We need roof on our head. We need food on our plate. We need clothes to cover our body. We have people to take care, and we need a lot of necessities, for our survival. And as a Dharma practitioner, the importance of the earning of those necessities to be free from wrong livelihood. So like that. Then after that, we also touch briefly on the accumulating the wealth. The 7 wealth of or 7 richness of the noble one, which is for us to eventually, become just like the Bodhisattvas, like just like Lama Atisha himself, just like Bodhisattva Chenrezig, you know. So like that. So today, I think most of you are using the text, the same text on the great collection of Lojong that translated by Dr. Jimba. And based on this text, then we are right now at the verse 8. But if you're using different texts, then not necessarily, the teaching may come into verses. It may come into different arrangement. So if you're following this text, then we are starting now from verse 8. So in verse 8, it says, abandon frivolous words, constantly guard your speech. So, Lama Adisha teaches us to abandon, senseless speech, and always guard our speech from saying or speaking, meaningless speeches or hurtful speeches, harsh speeches, like that. So, you see, so one of way to help ourselves, protect our speech from senseless speech or wrong speech, and not only that, utilize the powerful basis of this of the tongue, or the mouth, which has potential to accumulate immense of virtues and merit, which we already have. And if we just keep quiet, don't utilize it, then it's wasted. Can you imagine, someone who born as a dumb? When we think of the karmic causes to born as a dumb, in particularly, when think of the animals, in the animal realm, they don't have like the human capability of speech. Even in the human realm, some people, born unable to utilize the speech. When think of the karmic causes of that, then we can understand, how precious, how meaningful to have this speech, the what you call the basis of the speech. So therefore, we have to utilize it, and so the way to utilize it meaningfully is, a recitation of sutras, recitations of the mantras, then the how to say, also teaching Dharma or sharing Dharma. When we say teaching Dharma, sharing Dharma, not necessarily that you need to explain the Dharma to somebody. Just simply reciting, let's say this particular teaching, Bodhisattva Jo Galen, just simply reciting it, reading it loudly. There are formless beings, and there are so many other creatures like insects, birds, etc. So they get to hear the Dharma. The chanting of this teaching become a Dharma, to the listener, and even it can be bird what the imprint that they actualize is the Dharma imprint. Mm, mm, yeah. Mm, mm. So there are stories there are stories to illustrate that. So I will not go through that. So in short, occupy our speech with recitations of mantras, recitation of sutras like that. So you can see, many Himalayan people and Tibetans, the monks and nuns, all the time. Uh, Mostly you can see, their mouth is always occupied with chanting something, and that is, utilizing your speech meaningfully in recitation of mantras. At least Om Mani Padme Hum. And just 2 days ago, we received the Compassionate Buddha Chenrezig initiation, and when you look into the meaning, the benefit of the Om Mani Padme Hum, then as if entire life, just recite Om Mani Padme Hum. When looking at the benefit, it's unbelievable benefit. When you recite Om Mani Padme Hum, that naturally affects development of compassion. That naturally contribute as a healing or antidote to purify the suffering of all the entire 60 sentient beings. So you see, so just simply reciting Om Mani Padme Hum, so while watching TV, while cooking, while cleaning, all the time, before go to bed, in the toilet, anywhere you go, anywhere you are, not, your speech may be free, but then so you have to utilize it, by recitation of just even as just Om Mani Padme Hum, and that if you recite Om Mani Padme Hum, also is equivalent of reciting entire 84,000 teachings of the Buddha. When we recite Om Mani Padme Hum, is equivalent of reciting Wisdom Sutra, and reciting also the what you call it, stimulating the altruistic potential to develop bodhicitta. So like that. So both wisdom and method. When you see your teacher and preceptors reverently generate the wish to serve, so this is something that we need to practice. Sometimes it can be quite strange to the Western culture. When we talk about go to serve someone, like even a teacher, like that. But this is a very essential practice. You see, so you serve when you. Of course, we should serve all sentient beings, but then we can practice to serve all sentient beings, starting from our guru, starting from our spiritual teachers, from whom you receive the Dharma, even or the transmission of syllable Om, or just refuge vows, or just a commentary on syllable Om, or someone that who inspire you to cultivate loving kindness, compassion, someone who inspired to pursue your spiritual path, someone who inspired for you to renounce samsara, someone who inspire you to pursue liberation. All these are our spiritual teacher. You see, so the service should be conducted with the two characteristics. The first one is devotion. The second one is respect. So these two has to come together. So devotion is seeing the teacher, if possible, seeing the teacher as Buddha. Seeing the teacher as Buddha, or seeing teacher as a representation of the Buddha. So like that. So again, for this, someone who's practicing tantra, there's a way how we view our spiritual teacher. If someone who do not practice tantra but practice Vinaya, there's a way to view our teacher. if you don't practice that, but practice just sutra, then the sutric way of viewing, how to view your guru, your teacher. Then generally, how to view our spiritual teacher as someone that who is object of our general veneration. So so the veneration, offering service to the guru, the spiritual teacher, is one of the most powerful. In short, is one of the most powerful way to accumulate extensive merit. One of the practice that where we can purify, immense of negative karma is one of very powerful antidote to purify negative karma. You see, so any practices in relation to our spiritual teacher, a spiritual guru, it serves as a root of the path. It serves as a foundation where we can able to actualize all the stages of the blessing and realization in the path up to full enlightenment. So you see, so like that. So so veneration and the service, or aspire to offer service to the guru. One thing that not necessarily mean physically need to be in front of the spiritual teacher and offer service is not necessarily mean that. And also it does not necessarily mean offer service by providing material gifts, like how Milarepa expressed in his spiritual song, that he do not possess any offerings as a service in the offerings, material gift. The only gift that he has is the practice of practice in the guru's instruction. You see, so so the best gift, best way to offer service, what it really mean to be offer the best service to the guru or spiritual teacher is to actualizing the dharma within our mental continuum. For ourselves to developing in the stages of the path. And that pleases the guru the most. That makes the best service to our spiritual teacher. You see. So in short, whenever we think of our spiritual guru, then if you see the guru in person, or if you see the guru in your heart, immediately to remember to cultivate the dharma, and that is meaning. The moment you see your preceptor, your teacher, you want to offer service. That is the meaning. And of course, if there's opportunity for us to serve physically, even get opportunity to make just a cup of tea, or sweep the the premises of the guru, or even assist giving food to the guru's dog and guru's pet. Even that is most powerful way to accumulate merit. So whatever directly or indirectly offer service to the fulfillment of the guru's wish, that become a very powerful practice to the development of altruism, to the development of our virtues. You see, I'm sure many of you, already, felt the blessing of the Dharma. That some of you may even in the position that you may already dedicated entire your rest of life in the service of fulfilling Guru's wishes. You see, either through observing the Sangha vow, or either through serving in the guru's different projects in Dharma centers, like serving as a director, SPC, even serving as someone to do daily water bowl offering in the center, or offering service in the guru to just to be volunteer in the Dharma centers. Like many of us here, we are disciple of Jabja Lama Sopa Rinpoche, and he is known as the Dalai Lama. And the centers are the Guru's mandala. In the centers are like Guru's home, Guru's celestial mansion, Buddha's celestial mansion, Guru Shakyamuni Buddha's celestial mansion, Lama Sopa Rinpoche's celestial mansion, his known as Dalai Lama's celestial mansion. You see, so any form of commitment to offer service, to even it may be just cleaning the floor, it become one of the most powerful way to purify our karma, and one of the most powerful way to accumulate merit, because that directly link to the fulfillment of Guru's wishes. You see, as I mentioned before, even offer volunteer to feed Guru's dog. There are stories, how powerful it can be like that. Like even like Geshe Domtemba, his entire time or life with Lama Atisha, yes, learning Dharma is one thing, but his main dedication is dedicated as attendant to Lama Atisha. In particularly when Lama Atisha was very old, and also later part of his life, of course, due to old age and going to pass away, his physical body become very weak, and his main time is dedicated to clean Lama Atisha's room, clothes, and even his body and his screaming, his vest, and that bring about Lama Geshe Domtempa to bring immense purification of his karma and immense accumulation of merit, and among brilliance of disciples of Lama Atisha, Domtempa become the number one successful in practice. Successful, one of the number one who successful in developing realization in the path, because of not because of that he get more time to study. That's one thing, but he get most opportunity to serve the Guru. Do minor things, like that, you see. So therefore, yes. So this is a very, very, very important practice. Very important practice. You see, for us to be mindful of, observing precepts like 8 minor precepts or refuge precepts, 5 labor precepts. All these precepts are blessed by Buddha. These precepts are granted, initiated by Buddha himself, and the gurus, as a preceptor, they channel to us, and practicing purely, guarding these precepts, more important than your own life force, become extensive offering service to our guru, offering service to the Buddhas, like that, So then verse 9, towards wise being with the Dharma eye, and towards beginner on the path as well, recognize them as your spiritual teacher. So towards wise being with the Dharma eyes, referring to the Buddhas, Tathagatas, Arya Bodhisattvas, Arahats, ordinary Bodhisattvas, gurus, and the rest of the others that who whose senses or whose continuum is completely in Dharma. And towards beginner on the path, like ordinary people, who first time, actualizing the path, then as well as the rest of the other sentient beings, recognize them as your spiritual teacher. So in short, not only the Buddhas, not only our guru, our physical guru, rest of the others should regard them as our spiritual teacher. Should regard them as our spiritual teacher. So this is again is extremely important. In relation to Tantra as well as in relation to Sutra. This is one of very powerful antidote to purify our hallucination, purify our impure mind, purify our delusions. So normally we it's easy for us to respect and view as an inspirational figure to the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and the Arya Sanghas. But then when it comes to ordinary people, even the conventional sanghas, people have difficult to express genuine respect, sense of their spiritual teacher, or spiritual community, many people have this difficulty. Then no question about regarding our Dharma brothers sisters when we go to the center or within our neighbors and people who are just beginner practitioner. It's so difficult for us to regard them as a spiritual friend or spiritual teacher, or recognize them as a teacher. Here, not saying regard them as this guru, that there's a specific connotation there for guru. It's not talking about that. Just regarding them as a figure where you can able to learn for the development of your own spirituality. It's very much talking about that. Or in another way, for the benefit of training, for the benefit of transforming our impure mind to the pure, for the benefit of this ordinary hallucinated mind, eventually to develop the mind just like the Buddhas, just like the gurus. For that benefit, then every single others play a role as a spiritual teacher to us. You see, so for us to practice that. So generally, when we say Dharma, it's a protection of our mind. You see, Dharma means protection of our mind from ordinary perception. When we talk about Tantra, Tantra also meaning protection of our mind, protect from ordinary perceptions. You see, so so in order for us to actualize the benefit of the Dharma, then we need to respect entire others. We need to view entire others as someone who is beneficial, as like the spiritual teacher, to help the development of our heart. In fact, when you see any sentient being, view them as your parent, your child, or your grandchildren. So if you want to go, strictly on the wording, then of course the first line is referring to the Buddhas, gurus, and bodhisattvas. Then the second line is referring to those first time engaging in the practice of the Dharma. Then the rest of the line is talking about the rest of the other sentient being, how to view the rest of the other sentient being. And so in short, this theme of this teaching is to develop altruism bodhicitta, to develop great compassion. and unconditional love. So, in order for us to fulfill that purpose, then those rest of the other sentient being, ordinary sentient being, we should view them as some as our parents, some as our children, some as our grandchildren, like that, and develop the closeness on the basis of that understanding. So if we think, if we reflect, on the basis of the fact of the karma and the rebirth, then it's very clear there's not even one single sentient being has not been one's mother, has not been one's father, has not been one's sister, has not been one's children, has not been one's grandchildren. Just due to the the gap of rebirth, we are unable to see that relationship with the rest of the other sentient being. But if you clear, that that blockage and see through the understanding of rebirth and karma, then it's so easy, for us to view and able to see every single sentient being is our family member, our loved one, like that. So, in order for us to actually achieve that, then without training, in this practice, we won't able to achieve, realizing bodhicitta. And without that, we won't able to actualize Buddhahood. When we refer to the Lamrim, the developing bodhicitta on the basis of 7 cause and effects. The first one is recognizing all sentient being as mother. All sentient being as someone is, close to you. Like precious as this very life's mother. So from there we can understand the teaching that mentioning here is for us to train in this manner, so that eventually we will be able to develop bodhicitta. Then verse 10 here says, renounce negative friendship and rely on the spiritual friend. So negative friendship, anyone that who encourage or who influence or who become cause and condition, directly or indirectly, for us to indulge in 10 non-virtues, 10 non-virtues, or any form of negativities through our body, speech, and mind, and those are called negative friends. So we must renounce it. We have to renounce such friends for their own benefit as well as for our own benefit. You see, if we continue to indulge with such negative friend, then each time when oneself engage in any negative action, we also include, that friend to accumulate negative karma also, because that friend also played the role of condition for oneself to, engage in negative action. So therefore, in the practice of compassion to that friend, that negative friend, that we need to, avoid, these negative friends, like that. So when we talk about renounce and avoid, it's very much talking about physical distance or verbal distance, but it's not talking about abandon from your heart as object of your compassion. When you know that someone as a negative friend, in fact, your heart, your compassion has to be even more intensified towards that person. You have to pray more to that person than someone who is a virtuous friend. You should love that person more than someone who is already a virtuous friend. You should pray more to that negative friend than the person who is already in virtues. You see. So renounce here is renounce from your heart of agreeing with those negative actions or indulging, in the influence of those negativities from this friend. You see, so your heart should renounce from that. Then physically and verbally, by involving with this person, it really affects you to perform negativities. Then physically and verbally stay distant. You see, but heart stay close in the practice of virtue, compassion, like that. Then rely on the spiritual friend. Yes, so here we can understand again two ways. One is spiritual friend is referring to gurus, spiritual teachers, like Guru Shakyamuni Buddha is our spiritual friend. Manjushri, Chenrezig, they are our spiritual friend. Like His Holiness Dalai Lama, like Gyaltsab Lama Sopa Rinpoche, and all your spiritual gurus are your spiritual friend. You see. Or in another understanding, spiritual friend can refer to all the sanghas, who observe all the sanghas, who observe Vinaya vows, who observe, precepts, then both their body, speech, and mind, who practice, virtues, and who play the role of inspiration to the improvement, to the development of virtues, and those are we can call as a spiritual friend. Or in another understanding, anyone that who inspire you in the cultivation of virtue, cultivation of dharma, and those are spiritual friends. Whoever inspire you, whoever, just by thinking of that person, just by hearing that person's name, just by anything that you relate to that person, that encourages you, inspire you to practice dharma, practice virtue, and renounce negativities, delusions, renounce samsara, and those are called spiritual friends. So we should rely on these spiritual friends. Dispel hostility and unpleasance, and venture forth to where happiness lies. So dispel hostility and unpleasance is referring to all the negativities again. 10 non-virtuous action, 10 non-virtuous action. 3 of the body, 4 of the speech, and 3 of the heart, 3 of the thought. So these are hostility and unpleasantness. These 10 non-virtues, by engaging, either act as a conditional cause to ripen past negative imprints and experience suffering, unpleasant. Either act as a fresh cause to accumulate abundance of causes of future sufferings, future unpleasant. In immediate level, whenever we engage in these 10 non-virtuous actions and negativities, it brings hostility within our mind, within our speech, within our body. You see, it stirs the peace and the virtue within our existence. You see, so therefore, must dispel, must renounce, must abandon, and venture forth where happiness lies. So again, venture forth where happiness lies is in the cultivation of 10 virtuous action. All the virtuous action, all the Dharma practices, cultivation of loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta, emptiness of self and phenomena. Okay, so any form of Dharma practices, any form of virtuous practices, again, act as a causes where it will, bring immense of happiness in future. Temporary happiness up to the ultimate happiness, enlightenment. And those are the byproduct of engaging in the virtuous practices, virtuous cultivation. By engaging in 10 virtuous action, also act as a conditional cause to ripen the past virtuous imprint, fruition in joy and happiness, pleasant right now, right this very next moment, Then, by engaging in the 10 virtuous actions and Dharma practices, instantly, immediately, right then, it helps to illustrate, it helps to manifest inner peace. It helps to manifest greater virtue. It has to manifest, more virtues, peace and happiness, so like that. Then verse 11, abandon attachment to all things and abide free from desire. So the first one is referring to the material things, the objects, anything, any objects, the object of five senses, abandon attachment in the gathering of object of five senses. Then abide free from desire. The second one referring to the abandoning of the attachment mind, and the subject, the desirous grasping, the desirous grasping attitude, should be abandoned, should be abandoned, should be eliminated. Attachment fails to bring even a higher realm. In fact, it kills the life of your future liberation. Why we need to abandon attachment in gathering the object of five senses, and also abandoning the subject, the attachment mind itself, through cultivation of containment, renunciation. Why is necessary? Because attachment will obstacle for us to actualize higher rebirth, like a precious human rebirth. Attachment play one of the major obstacle for us to, no question about actualizing Buddhahood, liberation, even it obstacle for us to actualize just ordinary human life. And of course, it kills the life of the true liberations. So as long as we cultivate attachment, then liberation is not possible. You see, liberation is not possible. You see, just even to achieve nirvana or peace, the attachment has to be eliminated, because attachment play as a negation to nirvana. You see, just to be free from the sixth realm of samsaric existence without eliminating attachment, we won't able to achieve liberation. And not only that, as long as attachment, the desire arises in our mental continuum, there's no peace, there's no settledness, there's no inner peace. It's so obvious. And the moment we crave for pizza, you can see, you cannot settle your feet on the ground. even that, so it's to do with the taste, it's to do with the vision, or it's to do with just mental picture. The moment we have a desirous attachment to the object of senses, or just nothing, but just is not not really desiring for the object of senses, but just simply not equipping our heart with the sense of containment, the heart of containment, heart of renunciation, we cannot settle. We won't able to feel the weight of settledness. We cannot feel the sense of satisfaction, peace, joy, happiness. It's not bad. You see, Mm. Yes, anger, yes, is very bad. Yes, we discussed before, but then of course, ignorance is baited in every delusion. Yes, but attachment is very tricky. Attachment, the phase of attachment is looks like something is good for you. Something is beneficial to you. Especially to the mind of delusion, mind of ignorance, the urge of attachment is something very liking. You see, so that fools us, and that's the how that ruin our inner peace. You see, so therefore, to recognize the faults of anger is easy. To recognize the faults of ignorance is easy, but recognize the fault of attachment is harder. You see, uh, so therefore, what's it? If we examine carefully, up to now, whatever we pursue, even the pursuit of Dharma, there's a kind of influence of attachment. Even pursuit of enlightenment, there's a sense of influence of attachment. You see, so because of the condemnation of attachment to the pursuit of enlightenment, and that practice, whatever practice we perform, like doing sadhanas and doing recitations, everything become worldly dharma. It cannot become the pure dharma, that which will genuinely become cause of liberation. You see, so therefore, it is very tricky. So we really have to, check carefully. The way to check whether my attitude is free from attachment or not is, by witnessing the amount of containment, the amount of detachment, amount of renunciation to worldly concern, the amount of renunciation towards worldly matters, worldly graspings. You see, the greater amount of detachment or renunciation to the worldly concern, our heart is, freer from attachment. You see, so like that. Then verse 12, when you encounter the cause of happiness, in this always preserve. When you encounter the cause of happiness, the virtues, like 10 virtues, you see, even it may be one moment of cultivation of virtue. It may be just a tiny act of virtue, never, how to say, never underestimate. Even it may be just a tiny or one moment of virtue, accumulation of virtue. One must adapt, always preserve it. You see, because that tiny virtue, that one moment of virtue, has the capability to increase all the way up to the altruism. That tiny virtue can act as a conditional cause to ripen many other virtues, or that tiny virtue become the first seed to many other virtues. You see, so this is something that which we may encounter, that we may get into error, because sometimes we long for big virtue, great time of virtue, the daily minor virtues accumulation we kind of ignore. We wait for a greater time. And day to day, while we are engaging in our worldly responsibility, we invest entire our effort in worldly life, worldly activity, and we wait for retreat, next year, 1 month later. When our guru comes, then I will engage in retreat. You see, but we have opportunity to at least recite Om Mani Padme Hum one time, even though just one time of recitation Om Mani Padme Hum, or just Om Mani Padme Hum, and we kind of neglect and we hope for accumulation of 100 million, 100,000 or money payment when I get time to do retreat. So that is wrong, So you see, so indirectly, the understanding of this particular line is, even it may be a tiniest virtue, we must accumulate, we must preserve, we must actualize it, treasure it like that. So whichever task you take up first, address this task primarily. So this one, some commentary different commentary explain different things. But what I come up to, what I understand is the task between dharma and worldly activities, spiritual activities and worldly activities. When it comes to these two tasks, then address which task you take up first. The task is dharma task. Take up first before taking the worldly task. Address the dharma task as a primarily. You see. You see. So an example, most of us have sadhana practices, daily commitments. Daily commitments. So in a 24 hour, when you first wake up, first thing is should do the sadhana. First thing should be doing the sadhana. If we choose the task of doing sadhana from breakfast or from going to work, and we leave our sadhana practice to the last one, in most cases, we will have a very hard time to do sadhana properly. In many cases, the sadhana will be, after midnight, which is already, the quota is already over. It happens, isn't it? It happens many times. Then even since the whole day being busy, very tired, so the concentration won't be there, to when we do the sadhana, when we do the practice, it is. I think some of you may have experienced, if the practitioner is like me, then we put our sadhana, our practices, our meditation at the last, then we do our sadhana with our practices with the sleeping, nodding, yawning, then like for me, if I drink coffee, or caffeine, then I get awake. So if I drink coffee at the late night, whole night I cannot sleep. So this is because of the mistake of you choose the wrong task primarily. You choose the wrong task first. So therefore, from the dharma task, whatever comes in the choosing of the dharma task, the worldly task, always should choose dharma task first. Whatever, how much worldly reason must be giving to do the worldly task first, still beneficial to choose the dharma task first. When we think carefully, dharma task is not only beneficial for this life's success of our mundane life, it is also beneficial for the future lifetimes benefit, all the way up to enlightenment, all the way up to liberation. You see, when we perform dharma tasks, that helps to accumulate abundance of merit. So even a mundane success in the job is a byproduct of merit. Byproduct of merit. So can you imagine, before going to the job, we finish our sadhana, we finish our commitment. We at least, even you don't have a commitment, even you don't have sadhana, but at least dedicate 5-10 minutes to do a proper meditation in bodhicitta or emptiness. Then you start the day. The day will be totally different. Because there's a conditional cause, the support of the virtue that you have just freshly accumulated. That will, without any doubt, it will assist us. And that virtue will also help to clear, obstacles in our journey of our mundane pursuit. You see, and not only that, that virtue is definitely cause of liberation, without any doubt. In particularly the virtue of motivation, at the beginning of the day, in bodhicitta, the entire your mundane work become altruistic work. Even just typing computer, because of that, typing computer in the office, is already infused by the bodhicitta motivation from the morning. That act become a cause of enlightenment, which is beneficial for numberless sentient beings. You see, so like that. So the another way of understanding is, between altruistic dharma, altruistic task, and ordinary virtue, then always choose the altruistic virtue. And always choose the altruistic virtue as a primary virtue or primary task. This can be understood like that also. So in another way of understanding is virtue and non-virtue. You see, there's a challenge by the delusional mind, one to pursue non-virtues. Then there's a wisdom mind saying no. I better, even though even though how exciting it may be, but then you let go and you choose to engage in the virtues. So from these two tasks, then always find a way to choose the virtuous task. Take that as a primary, like that. In this way, you ensure the success of the both tasks. You see, where otherwise you accomplish neither. So as mentioned before, when you choose the dharma virtuous task, then that become a cause of the success of the both tasks, as explained before. While accumulating causes of enlightenment, it also contribute conditional causes to the success of our mundane tasks, mundane works. You see, so this is a very, very wise way and very smart way, of doing it. You see, the non-dharma way of understanding. If you spend time for dharma practice, then it's like kind of wasting time. Taking away your precious time of pursuing worldly gain, like such as gathering money, gathering friends, gathering status, etc. You see, but in actual reality, when you pursue the dharma, then fame naturally comes. When you pursue the dharma, abundance naturally comes. When you pursue the dharma, all the mundane necessities, comes timely to you. You see. So some of you may think that, oh no, I've been practicing dharma, but that didn't happen. I've been practicing dharma, but then I spent too much time in meditation, and until I got late in my office, and my boss kicked me out from the job, and I lose job. You may think like that, but if you genuinely, truly, 100% artistically practicing, genuinely, there won't be such experiences. Even in case you happen to be late in the office, the moment you enter into the office, the boss, feel the effect of your altruism. So anyway, someone that who know how to choose, the right task, and I'm sure that you will not delay to reach the office also. You will timely finish your session, and you will timely reach to your office, and you will perform the job perfectly. So like that. So anyway, so that's why Buddha himself said in the sutra that if you go to search for the skeleton of Dharma practitioner who died with the starvation. You cannot find. You search in the entire universe, you cannot find even one tiny skeleton bone of a true Dharma practitioner died of starvation. You cannot find. But if you go to find a skeleton of successful merchants, businessmen, then there will be a mountains of skeleton that you can find of such merchants who die with starvation, who die with no money, who die with no food, like that. Of course, in Buddha didn't say that money, but what meaning is, die with starvation, like that. You see, so it is so true. So when we dedicate genuinely, wholeheartedly, genuine renunciation to the samsara, genuine aspiration to liberation, then you dedicate your life to practice the Dharma. Then all the necessary just comes in time. You become a rich because you are not lacking anything. And you get everything according. You get anything, any necessities timely. So that is called rich, isn't it? Like that. You look into your storeroom, you look into your storage. There are thousands of, hundreds of unwanted things out there, just accumulate. It's a burden. Sometimes I heard people hire a storeroom, then you have to pay monthly quite a lot of money just to store all the unnecessary things there. You may say I have plenty of things, but useless. You see, but then when we talk about genuine practitioner, even today's time, there are some sanghas, some lay people, some individuals who genuinely dedicate their life, with genuine sense of renunciation in a heart, genuine understanding in the Dharma and pursuit of liberation. Physically they have nothing, but they get everything in timely, like that. There's one venerable from Spain, they call Venerable Jesus. His name is Champashemen. He's one class senior than me. Where he studied in Serra. He studied in Serra. Is a true meditator. For me, I regard him as a modern day, Milarepa in the West. It's an amazing meditator. It's a fearless of any inconvenience. He illustrated that even when he was in Serra. There's one Heruga cave called Betterput cave. Usually for us, we regard it is very scary because there are some, people who rob you, and if you have thing to give, yes, they will take it. Plus, they will also beat you up. If you don't have nothing, you will beat you up more. There's nobody there to go there, unless you go in a group and daylight time. And up there in the top of the hill, there's a Heruga, a holy place. And this Venerable Champashemen during the break time in the monastic study, and he go there, without bringing proper food, clothes. You go there and meditate like that, and he never get beaten up. Because of he himself is so renounced, so subdued, so gentle. People love him. You see, so like that. Then I remember I saw him the day that he left for Tibet. He was in fact under the advice of Kyabjanama Rinpoche, asked him to do meditation, asked him to, so he didn't really stay there to graduate as a Geshe, even though his class is already reaching to Geshe. The time that he left, if I remember correctly, I think he's already Vinaya class or finished Vinaya class, something like that. he has a little house, and he has his own possessions, you know, everything renounced. And what he is carrying is this jola, the monastic small bag. So inside his daily prayer book and his Dharma robe chogo, the yellow chogo, like this, nothing. And he said he's going to Tibet. he's going to Tibet. And we had a short conversation, and he's going to all the holy places in Tibet, all the Kadamba Masters' holy places and all the holy caves, holy hermitage. And he have no plan particularly, but each hermitage, until people kick him out, he will just stay there and do meditate without concern of food, shelter, nothing. Then he will move to the next hermitage. like that. So I think he must have stayed a few months in Tibet until he had to get out from the border. So then after that he went to Spain, and he lived in I think about. I'm sure he have done many more years, but what I know, at least 6 years of great retreat. When I was going for teaching tour, I heard he was somewhere, but he was totally isolated from no one, and he was just doing extensive meditation. You see. Yeah. So the point is, I think many of you. He recently come out from retreat and he started to teach. You saw, isn't it? One time, Kirtanam Subramani's retreat in Spain or somewhere. He was also assisting in the teaching. You see, the glow in him. Is still intact. But materially, during that, those journey, he renounced everything. You see, and he get all the help timely because of 100% dedicated. And there are many others, like my late guru. Nothing, totally nothing. You see, not even one extra rope. You see, then there are many like that. Then like Milarepa, you see, and they not only achieve liberation, enlightenment, but even in that very lifetime, all the respect, all the glory, they earn everything, without asking, like that. You see, so we can, if we able to do that, then nothing to fear when you dedicate your life for Dharma. Nothing to be fear. You see, but if you are not genuinely, renounce or understand the limitation of samsara and genuinely pursuing liberation, and just how to say, just because of how to say, unstable inspiration arises in your heart and you start to give up everything, then go into retreat, then that may get into trouble. You see, then like no spiritual benefit, also lost, also lost your mundane, comfort. You see, so there's also one story. There's someone who read Milarepa's life story, then went into retreat, learning, how Milarepa renounced everything and pursue the cave, to meditate. But this person just emotionally, pursue the retreat, but didn't really understand what really renunciation is and what really aspiration to liberation is, and don't know what to practice. Then later, he says that, Milarepa himself become poor, but he also make me poor, It's not because of Milarepa make you poor, but because you didn't understand. You don't have the basic necessity, the genuine sense of renunciation and genuine sense of aspiration in Dharma, just because of that, like that. So, verse 13, since you take no pleasure in negative deeds, when the thought of self-importance arises, at that instant, deflate your pride and recall your teacher's instruction. Hmm? Yeah, so since you take no pleasure in negative deeds, uh, when your thoughts of self-importance, self-ego centered arises, then instantly defeat your pride by recalling, Dharma, recalling your guru's teachings, uh, uh, the teacher's instruction, like what Shantideva said in Bodhisattvacharya. All happiness in the world comes from wishing others happiness. All misery in the world comes from wishing your own happiness, like etc. These are just example. Like Nagajuna's precious garland, have a quotations to remember, to purify the ego-centered mind, etc. Then looking at the example of our gurus, looking at the example of these great pandits, Kadamba masters, their success in the spiritual practices by eliminating the ego, pride, and self-cherishing attitude. All the benefit of full enlightenment, all the past, present Buddhas and future Bodhisattvas, all the success, what they achieve is, by letting go of this self-cherishing attitude and cultivating the cherishing attitude to the benefit of all sentient beings' well-being. Then verse 14, when discouraged thought arises, uplift your mind and meditate on the emptiness of both. So yes, while we are practicing, without doubt, we do encounter the mind of discouragement, in many forms. Well, even just studying Dharma, sometimes we get discouraged because we don't understand the Dharma. When we contemplate, we cannot get to the point. When we meditate, we discourage because of not actualizing the realization, etc., etc. Then, more than that, while we're perceiving the Dharma, it's not necessarily be comfortable. Sometimes have to go through a lot of hardship. Then, due to that, get discouraged. Like someone who genuinely dedicate your life in the spirituality, like what the Kadamba masters have said, you may even lose the status of human, and you may fall into the status of street dog. And if you then if you success fully able to pass the status of the street dog, then you're able to actualize the status of the God. So so these are illustrating that when you genuinely dedicate life in Dharma, the outwardly the condition can go quite humble, So so someone who have a deep influence by the material comfort, may experience sense of losses. So and then discourage, So so therefore, whenever such discouragement arises, then it's very beneficial to meditate on emptiness. You say meditate on the emptiness of the both, the object or the experiences, and also the mind, or the mind or the self that which experiences, or in another way, the self and the experiences, the phenomena, whatever that comes in your way, you meditate on the selflessness of self and selflessness of the phenomena, or meditate on the emptiness of the thought that whatever thought arises, and the cause that which make to arise that thought. Meditate on the emptiness nature of that. When object of attraction, aversion appears, view them as you would illusion and aspiration. So when the object of attraction, aversions, so when attachment arises, attraction, and when aversion arises, like such as anger, then is the view them as you would, like illusion. So view them as like illusion. Like what says in the Vajrakata Sutra, view the attractions, view the attachment, or the desire or desires grasping, from of attachment, and aversion grasping of the grasping of the aversion or the anger. Then you can meditate like illusion, like like what says in the Dhammapada Sutra. A star, a defective view, a butter lamp, flame, an illusion, a dewdrop, a water bubble, a dream, lightning, a cloud, see all causation phenomena like this. So whatever the thoughts of desire or aversion arises, then you view them as an illusion, like that. Then illusion and aberration. So view them as a pendulum, dream-like, like mirage. So in short, whenever difficulty arises, in particular like a discouragement, obstacle, inner outer secret obstacle arises in the pursuit of the Dharma, in the pursuit of developing true altruism, then you pause a moment to do a session on meditating on emptiness, the lack of inherent existence, the empty of inherent existence, empty of true existence, empty of permanent existence. Then when you arise from that session, then whatever you see, feel, think as an illusion, as an illusion, like as a dream, like, so this is the teaching. Then when you hear unpleasant words, view them as a mere echo. Yeah, when it just affects your body, see them as a fruit of past deeds. So meditate on the karma. So whenever unpleasant words, when people scold you, when people criticize you, never grasp on that, or arise aversion on that. Just simply regard as an empty echo, like that. Again, is similar like meditating on emptiness. If you go to search to where the echo coming from, if it's coming from the rock, then you go to search that you cannot find, isn't it? Similarly, when those unpleasant words, criticisms arises to you, when you go to search in the actual reality, you cannot trace back, even in the form of substance, or even in the form of atom. Then injuries affect your body. Whenever sicknesses arises in your body, then sicknesses or any obstacle, mental pain, physical pain, then all should regard as a result of past karma, or in particularly when someone injured you, then instead of retaliating to that person, rather regard as it is the effect of one's own past karma. Then take the opportunity to purify it, like that. Then dual utterly, solitude beyond town limit, like the casket of the wild animal. Hide yourself away in the forest and live free of attachment. So this can be understood that if there's convenient and conducive for your life, then pursue cave, pursue to remain in holy places, in the retreat huts, or dedicate life in the monastery, taking the vows and cultivate learning, contemplation, and meditation in the Dharma. If possible. If not, then the town here is like something, is a very busy place, a lot of things, a lot of activities, so you retreat yourself, you isolate yourself, in your heart, inward, instead of scattering, your senses towards the outer world, material world, material world. Rather, you solitude your heart from them and focus inward to your meditation, to your cultivation of Dharma, cultivation of practices of, three principal aspects of the path, like renunciation, bodhicitta, emptiness, like that, like the classic wild animal. Mm. It's very much like, uh, it's the example of like totally renouncing, totally isolating yourself from all the distractions and obstacles to the spiritual pursuit. Hide yourself away in the forest and free of attachment. So, forest here, yes, as mentioned before, many of the caves and many of the the hermitage are very much in the high in the mountain, high in the jungle, like that. But here, like us, most of us, we don't have that capability. We cannot go away, rest of our life in the cave or in the solitude. But then, but we still can, adopt this practice by reflecting to the meaning, away from holy concern, away from material, grasping, totally immerse your heart in the focus of the inner value of the Dharma, which is free from attachment, like that. Okay, so I think I was hoping to finish this the text, but I don't think I can finish because there are a lot more to discuss. So I think I better stop here. Mhm. Yeah. So thank you very much. So I think I stop here. Mm. Mm. Yeah. So we do a short dedication. Yeah. So we started the session with the bodhicitta motivation. So without any doubt, uh, you know, uh, this session become virtues, artistic virtues. Uh, so therefore, accumulated so much merit. So may this collective merit be the cause of numberless sentient beings' temporary happiness after the ultimate happiness of enlightenment. May this collective merit be the cause of the preservation of Dharma, virtues, within each and every sentient being, and actualize the fruition of liberation, enlightenment. May this collective merit be the cause for uh, man-made disasters, sufferings, natural disasters, pacify without delay even a moment, like such as this pandemic crisis. And there are a lot of hostile, uh, activities are evolving over the human society due to greed, ignorance, attachment, jealousy, ego, and so much suffering that human ourselves, accumulate. May this merit be the cause to pacify them, without delay even a moment. And also dedicate this collective merit be the cause for all the world leaders, leader of the societies, leader of family, like such as the parents to the children, everyone, pacify their delusions, and actualize loving kindness, compassion, so that everyone able to enjoy peace, happiness, harmony. And dedicate, all the people who is source of sentient beings, happiness, peace, like His Holiness Dalai Lama, Jebel Lama Sobrumbache, all your spiritual gurus, and hundreds and thousands and millions of people out there, like yourself, who dedicate your life to serve the sentient beings' happiness. May this merit be the cause for you to have long life, good health, fulfill all your aspirations quickly. And finally, may this collective merit be the cause for ourselves to have all the conducive conditions, starting from, the boldness, courage to dedicate rest of our life in the service of numberless sentient beings, temporary happiness up to the ultimate happiness of enlightenment. So in short, we dedicate any virtues and merit, like how, Bodhisattva Samantabhata, Bodhisattva Cherisik, to dedicate. We too dedicate just like that. The dedicator ourselves, the merit, and the objective all are lack of inherent existence. Everything exists interdependently. So therefore, all our prayers are possible. All our aspirations are possible to actualize in result because it exists, interdependently. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Take care. See you. Bye-bye.